Alright, so today we've got a bit of a different video. In my last few videos I mentioned that Ubisoft Montreal was getting ready to release their very own take on a Battle Royale game, or at least release info on the game and potentially give us access to the game in some way. And they did. A few days ago they released the technical test for their Battle Royale called Hyper Scape. I've been playing a ton of Hyper Scape these past few days as I got a key very quickly by watching Brogla on Twitch, and if you aren't subbed to him, you're really missing out. Anyway, since I played a fair bit now, I just want to take a little bit of time and talk about the game and give you guys my first impressions on it. I apologize for any background noise you may hear. 4th of July is a few hours away and people have already began celebrating over here, so apologies in advance. Now, if you watch this channel somewhat regularly, I'd really appreciate it if you sub to the channel as it really helps me out. Now let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Alright, so really quickly for those of you who don't know, Hyper Scape is an FPS Battle Royale that is trying to do things a little differently. I won't talk about every little thing, but the rundown is, in this tech test you play a game mode called Crown Rush, where your team of 3 drops down into this futuristic city and fight it out until the very end, where if there is somewhat of a standstill and the last teams don't finish each other off before it appears, you'll fight for the crown, and whoever is the last one standing, or whoever is holding the crown after the timer runs out, wins. Pretty simple concept, easy to pick up, and fast paced. Games last about 15 to 20 minutes normally. There are 9 weapons, each of them being pretty unique, that you can upgrade over time by picking up duplicates and fusing them together. As you upgrade your weapons, they'll either get stronger or get an increase in their magazine size, and when they're maxed out you'll get another bonus, like say extra damage for a few weapons. Alongside weapons there are, I believe, 9 different hacks, which are basically abilities, and they all have different uses. There's invisibility, armor that makes you temporarily invulnerable to fire, a wall that throws up a huge wall wherever you want, a ball that puts you into a ball, a mine that sets down a mine. You get the idea. And just like with weapons, you can pick up duplicate hacks to upgrade them as well, but you'll just be upgrading the cooldown this time. You can hold 2 weapons and 2 hacks at any given time. There aren't any classes or anything like that in this game, and throughout the course of the game you'll be utilizing all of these very often. To top things off, this game is the most quick and vertical battle royale out there right now, at least of the big ones I know of. You move fast, you slide fast, you double jump and vault. You'll end up flying in the sky with slam, you'll be using jump pads and teleports to zip around the map. It all feels really good. It's not heavy or clunky, it's almost floaty as you just sort of glide around the map effortlessly. And with it being so easy to move around, you don't really have to worry too much about how to get around. If you're eliminated, you're not totally out of the game. You go into this limbo-like state where you can run around the map and tag things and enemies, and your team can revive you or bring you back into the game at an opponent's death location, and you can be brought back multiple times per game. It's not a one-time thing. First time revives have been done this way and it feels really good. That's not every little thing in Hyper Scape, but that's the gist of it. I think this game is really fun. I'll just come out and say that. I'm currently having a blast, and as I speak about it I want to load it back up and play. I was sort of skeptical when I first heard, fast-paced BR, as I was expecting something pretty generic, something by the numbers, but Ubi has went out and basically took the old school arena shooter formula, tinkered with it, modernized it in a few ways, and placed it in a battle royale. It's an arena shooter that just happens to be a battle royale, which I didn't really expect, as arena shooters have pretty much fizzled out at this point, but I'm all for this. I really hope that Ubi can continue to work on this game and keep it fresh, as I'd love to continue playing this game regularly after the novelty wears off. It's pretty well optimized. I haven't really had any real issues. The game runs very smooth. I've had the game crash on me twice, and I've only ran into one bug that forced me to reset my game. It was at the very end of a game, and I managed to grab the crown and hold it until victory alone, but after the timer ran its course, everyone else disappeared from the game, music started playing, and the game started to degrade until the point where I was just stuck in place, rubber banding. Not that big of a deal though. There's also a few bugs you run into while playing, like revive canceling itself, but that's not too big of a deal, and I'm sure it'll be fixed when the game actually releases. This is a tech test after all, and I can't get too mad at anything. The game is pretty well balanced for the most part also. It seems that most who have played the game a lot these past few days think this way as well. A lot of people talk about the TTK, or time to kill, and claim that it's too high, meaning that they believe it takes too long to kill an enemy in this game, but I actually think that's where some of the fun comes in. The only thing in this game that can take you out in one shot is a fully upgraded sniper headshot, which I'll talk about in a second, but other than that, you generally have plenty of time to react to gunfire. I would like to see a bit more damage feedback, however. Sometimes in the thick of things, I can't tell if I'm being damaged or not, but fights are not determined by who sees who first or whoever lands the first shot. The hacks are useful, and you can get out of combat or at least stall your demise for some time. I'm sure that Ubi is keeping a close eye on everything, and I'm sure that numbers will be tweaked when it comes to cooldown times and the duration of some hacks, as sometimes it feels like you can just sort of chain hacks back to back and survive for such a long time. Currently, with how things are though, when everything's working right, fights are just so fun. It's really fast paced and action packed with so much movement, and when one team starts to prevail, it can turn into this really fun game of cat and mouse with you hunting down your opponent, or if you're on the opposing end of it, it's really tense trying to escape your enemies by using the environment and your hacks to your advantage. You know, jumping through windows, slam launching over buildings, sliding under garage doors, hitting a corner and going invisible. It's so fun. And engagements can go on for a while. The map really lends into this frenzy as it really takes advantage of that Z-axis, and there's a lot of verticality. It's the tallest map out of all the BR games I've played. I think that the peaks of the skyscrapers are taller than the ones in Warzone at least, and you use that real estate in much more creative ways. The map can look a bit samey at times, and you recognize things from other games, but it works. I think it looks good, so that's not too big of a deal to me. Hopefully, like with other games, the map changes over time. With the weapons, again, I'm sure that Ubi has their ears out as to what players are saying. There are a few weapons that I'm positive will see adjustments. The Hexfire minigun seems to be what everyone says is too strong. I do believe it's on the strong side as well right now, as it's just really good in all situations except for extreme range. You can melt people in about a second and a half with that thing, and with it having such a large magazine and no wind-up time, it's basically the gun you'll see used most in this game. I know there will be adjustments to the Hexfire come release, but I don't want to see it removed like some people do. I think it really does have a place in this game, especially since reloading gives your opponent plenty of time to escape. Then there's the fact that snipers are hit scan. I'll admit, I really enjoy using the sniper in this game. It feels so good to take someone out with a headshot in this game due to mobility, but with them being hit scan, you know, point and click, it's really easy to land shots, at least relative to other games where the bullets travel. A fully upgraded sniper in the right hands can do some crazy things as they're 100% accurate while zoomed in, so time will tell what'll happen with these. And lastly, the launchers. I'm fine with the damage, I'm just not really a fan of the absence of self-inflicted damage. You cannot injure yourself in this game with fall damage, which is cool, I like that. But you also can't hurt yourself with your own launchers, meaning that say you're in a building with someone with a launcher, you can best believe they're going to let them fly, and it doesn't matter where they go because they're not going to damage themselves. I would personally like to see this changed, but hey, maybe it's too early to tell. I don't really want to see anything too major going on just yet. However, I do want to see a few of the weaker weapons brought up to par with the others, as I feel like everyone uses the same 4 or 5 weapons, and the others are sort of forgotten. And in a game with 9 weapons at the moment, I like to see them all being used. I'd also like to see a little bit more on the feedback side, as guns can feel a little weak, especially with the longer time to kill. But despite my minor issues with the game, I'm really having a good time at this moment. I like a lot of what's going on with this game. I think it has a bright future, and I do plan on playing it for a while. I think that they can do plenty of things with this game. It is free to play, and with that we know there's going to be monetization, but that's just to be expected. I just hope that we receive interesting items. Today they're testing out another game mode called Dark Haze that I can't wait to play. And if they're starting the technical test off with events like this, I think we'll see events become a regular thing. Maybe we'll see different sorts of in-game events with their really cool Twitch integration, or maybe we'll just see game mode events like these. Who knows? But whatever comes next, I'm ready for it. I've already seen people asking or saying, is this the Apex killer? Is this the Fortnite killer? Is this the Warzone killer? For some reason, people are asking, is this the Valorant killer? And to all of those, I say no. I don't think anything will come out and make those games irrelevant, because they're all totally different and appeal to different people. This game will exist alongside those other games. I don't see why it even matters. I don't know why there's such a competition. They're all good games. They're all free. You can play them at any time. Why would you want a game to go down in flames so that another one can thrive? The only thing that will finish those games are themselves. For the time being, we should just enjoy ourselves with these games and have fun with them, and not worry about things like that. If you're even remotely interested in this game, I urge you to hop on Twitch, watch a stream with drops enabled, and give it a go. I'm having a lot of fun, so maybe you will too. Anyways, that's all I've got for this video. I could keep going on, but I don't want this video to go on for too long. As I said, when I get home from work today, I plan on playing more of this. It's been a while since I've made a video that isn't For Honor related, and it's nice to step outside the box for a moment. As always, I do want to hear from you guys. If you've played Hyper Scape, let me know what you think about it, or just talk to me down in the comments about anything we talked about in this video, or anything at all. And as always, if you like the video, feel free to leave a like and sub if you're new, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.